beautiful, blessed people. Thank you, Jesus. I don't know where I would be if the Lord left me. It's so funny, I can show you all in my notes. Yesterday, the Lord gave me a message. The title of it is, When God is No More. And that's not about God leaving his position in all of existence. But what is your life like when God is no more? I don't know about y'all. I don't want my life without God. Because my life without God is in my hands. And I have the tendency with these two things right here to mess up some stuff. Why? Because these two things here are never satisfied with what they want. And so I'm going to go and get everything they want to go get. And so my life in God's hands, there's sometimes this spiritual check that comes from the Holy Ghost. Then when I put my hands to do something, stop. Okay. It's kind of like mama when your children reach up and want to reach on the stove. It's not that what's on the stove is not good for them, but because they're not grown to the maturity where they can handle it, they spill it and they hurt themselves, burn themselves, and cause injury. And many of us have been like that in the spirit. We're reaching for things that we have not matured to, and so we may hurt ourselves if we grab hold of them and bring them to us. I have a cousin who reached up on the stove as a kid and he pulled a pot of boiling hot dogs down, and he's scarred for life because the boiling water burned it. He's scarred for life. And when I think about church hurt, many of us think that the church hurt is the stuff that other people did to us, when in actuality we're reaching for stuff in the spirit realm that we had not grown into. And so therefore we end up hurt because we had the expectation of people to sustain us. And God says, I want to be your sustainer. So today we're going to be blessed. Y'all come on, praise Him. Y'all be seated. Let's give God a hand praise. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Joshua. I don't know if you know that Donnie McClurkin song. Just for me. Just for me. Oh, Jesus came and did it all. Just for me. Just for me. Just for me. Jesus came and did it. Just for me. That's one of my favorite songs. Today we're going to do something a little different. I want to a couple of weeks ago, Michelle and I had the privilege of going to this training for Lighthouse. And I never try to rerun or bring a message, but the Lord spoke to me to speak something to the leadership at Lighthouse Christian School Wednesday. And then the Lord began to speak to me even the more to go into depth with you guys as a congregation today. Because what I'm about to say to you is imperative. And at the end of service, for those that are members, I want you to stay behind because I want to share some things with you that I need to share with you specifically. So put that in your notes. I know we got BFR. I know we got some other things going on. But I got some things I want to share with you all specifically. This training we went to was about a biblical worldview. And I want to add some things to it. I'm not going to give you the teaching that they gave us because I think the teaching they gave us was good, but it was limited. And it's important and imperative for me to make sure that I share with you what God wants you to know. So be in the classroom and not in the sanctuary for just a moment, okay? I'm not giving you a Christian worldview because Christians have changed and redefined what Christianity looks like. So you can be a sinner and be a Christian leader. You can be in sin and lead people in Christianity. So I don't want to give you just a Christian worldview. Now, did I say that something is wrong with Christianity? No. In the eyes of people today, Christianity has its flaws. And that's not, you can't make that up. Christians are flawed people. And that's why I'm not giving you a Christian worldview. I want to give you a biblical worldview, which means you see the world through the Bible. It's key. The traditional teaching of a biblical worldview was this: creation, the fall of man, Jesus Christ, the redemption of man. That's the traditional biblical worldview. That's what any Bible-believing scholar is going to push. That's going to be his creation, the fall of man, the redemption of man. That's going to be what you learn. That's what church is about. Creation, the fall of man, the redemption of man. That's the traditional biblical worldview. And that's good if all you want to do is tell people who they are not. if all you want to do is point out your successes and everybody else's failures. That's good if you want to sit in the top seat and leave everybody else at the bottom. That's a good biblical worldview. Why? Because it's limited to you having the power. Why? Because you know who created everything. You know where everybody fell off, and you know how man gonna get it back, and you leave them there. You need Jesus. You're gonna bust hell wide open. See what I'm saying? Y'all know we grew up like that, hearing stuff like that, right? Here is the full picture, what I believe God wants us to deal with. The return of Christ and the judgment of Christ. Christ is the judge and the jury, not man. You get what I'm saying? So we're not just going to go with the traditional. We're going to add to that tradition what's necessary. Jesus is soon to return. And when he returns, he's going to judge the earth. He's going to judge everybody in the earth, and you don't have to worry about getting left out. So all of you people with low self-esteem and always feel like you're being overlooked, don't worry. There's coming a day when you will not be overlooked. Nobody gonna miss you. You do not get to stand outside the door. You do not get to get out of the line. Your soul is going to come across the judgment seat of Jesus Christ. And then there's eternity with God or eternity without God. Point blank is plain and simple. I don't get to put you in hell. I don't get to say you ain't gonna make it. Jesus will decide. We're gonna go through some of this today. Is that all right with you guys? Ooh, I'm fired up. Let's go. So I want to show you this. Now listen, y'all know I've been doing the brain games and brain games. It's so good to see you back home, my friend. Good to see you boys here. Those are three of my little favorite boys back there. Douglas's guest's birthday. It's good to see you guys. So this year, I've been on the brainscape and luminosity trying to get my brain to fire faster, Nancy. I want stuff to come quick. So I'm going to do this rather quick, but you got to pay attention to the board. Don't look at me. You ready? Morgan said, wait, back up. Yeah, you got to wake up. You ready? Here we go. Boom. Isaiah 53, creation, the fall of man, the redemption of man. That's where you're going to find it. Boom. Matthew 25, the return of Christ, the judgment of Christ, eternity with God or without God. Y'all got it? Y'all, Nancy like really passed. Oh, that was too funny. Here we go. You ready? Now let me show you how fast your brain works. Isaiah 53 contains what? See, you thought you didn't get it. You got it. Matthew 25 includes what? Yes, some of y'all got it. Here we go. Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God. John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God and the Word was God. That's established. That's creation. We don't argue that. We don't debate that. That's who we are. We believe that God is the creator of all living things. There is no Big Bang theory. There is no, what is that? The evolutionary methods by which man came to exist. There's no, not an atom. Help me out, Jaden. Science, biology, molecule, atom. There's no splitting of the atom and man becomes a living soul. There's none of that. God said and it was so. That's what we believe. That's a biblical worldview. You don't leave room for question. You don't leave room for a judgment. In the beginning, God, period. But what about the billion years and billion years that the Bible don't talk about? You're wrong. And you know you're wrong because nobody was here to record billions of years ago. You're doing it based on hypothesis, which means scientific guess. And carbon dating has already been proven to be flawed. Don't just listen to secular scientists who deny the existence of God. If you're going to use science by a means in which you prove creation, you got to go to a science that believes in God, and you got to go to a science that denies him. If you're going to have a healthy comparison. The good thing about our comparison that we have the Word of God to justify the creation started with God in the beginning. I'm fired up. I'm trying to calm down. The fall of man, Genesis 3:1-10. The serpent was more subtle than any creature in the garden. He comes on and tricks man. You know it like I know it. I don't want to go through it all today, but you know it. And then the redemption of man, Genesis 3:4, when Jesus talks to the serpent, he says, and the seed of woman, his heel shall bruise your head. How many of y'all women in here feel like you got a seed? Exactly. Women don't have seed, men do. Jesus was born of a virgin. His virgin birth was prophesied from God the Father. He says, let me tell you all in mystery how I'm going to do this thing. The woman's seed. God had a plan for your redemption from day one. He told Adam, in the day you eat of the tree, you should surely die, understanding in the day that Adam eats of the tree, everything that comes from Adam comes into this world dying. God says, I didn't create you to die, I created you to live, and therefore I have put in you eternity. The Bible says that God has placed eternity in the hearts of every man. Jesus Christ was the plan all along. Your connectivity to Jesus Christ was the plan all along. But here is God, he's so gracious. This day I lay before you life and death. Choose life. And then here in Matthew 25, in Matthew 25, we go with, come on. The return of Christ, John 14. I want to open that up. Somebody get John 14 for me. I want you all to see this. The return of Jesus Christ. You got it? Who got it? John 14, 1 through 7. I'm sorry. Come on, Ryan. Come on. Flip to it, son. Who got it? Ryan got it. Go, Ryan.
Let not your heart be troubled.
Let not your heart be troubled.
Ye believe in God. Believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it was not so, I would not have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again. See that? Wait. He says, I will come again. If I'm going to prepare a place for you, I'm coming back for you. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to fear that. You don't have to debate that. I'm going to prepare a place for you, and I'm coming back for you. Go ahead, finish it, Ryan. And receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye be also. Wherever
I'm at, you get to go. Only reason we ain't left this thing because the heaven ain't ready. If Jesus is going to prepare a place, that where he is, we may be also, it ain't ready yet. Those Baptists say you can't crown him king until I get back. I like to hear them say that. I was with my Baptist brothers and sisters yesterday. Yeah, you can't crown Jesus king until I get there. So the preparation is being made based upon how we evangelize the world. And we got to evangelize the world with a biblical worldview, telling them we believe in the creation, we believe in the fall of man, but we also believe in the return of Christ, and we believe in the judgment seat. Matthew 12:36. Somebody get that for me. I'm moving through this rather quickly. Matthew 12:36. Somebody else get Revelations 20. Then somebody get Matthew 25:31 through 46. I might as well let's just go on through this thing. Amen. Andrea, where you at? Matthew 12:36. Read it, Andrea.
But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment.
Every what? Every idle word, everything you speak is going to be judged in that day. Wow, for real? I thought there was no heaven or hell in this new theology people carrying around. Everybody get to go. It's a blissful place. We all just going to sit around and drink mint tea or mint juleps or something. I don't know what they got going on, but that's not a biblical worldview. A loving God wouldn't put nobody in hell. Well, a loving believer, if you love me, do what? Keep my commandment. You ain't got to worry about him. All right, who got Revelations 20:12 for me?
And I saw the dead, the great and the small, standing before the throne.
Wait, they were doing what?
Standing before the throne.
Great and small. Go ahead, keep going.
And books were opened.
Boom.
And another book was opened.
Boom.
Which is the book of life. And the dead were judged from the things which were written in the books, according to their deeds.
According to their what?
Deeds.
What you do in this life is going to be what results your afterlife. We believe in the judgment. Do you believe that once you die, God gonna judge you after you've been through all this hell on it? You ain't been through nothing. Don't you let nobody convince you that the judgment day is not coming. The judgment day is coming. And then we believe in eternity with God or without God. Let's look at Matthew 25. This is something. Now I'm going to tell you all right now. Three books of scripture just blessed my life. Isaiah 53, John 17, and Matthew 25. Those books just blessed my life over and over again. I said Isaiah 53, John 17, and Matthew 25. You'll see me preach out of those three books more probably than any other books. And maybe Ezekiel 44. So somebody get Matthew 25, 31 through 36. This is where you find the story of the 10 virgins. This is where you find the parable of the talents. And then you get into the final judgment. So let's look at this. Somebody take 31 through 46. Who got it? Go, Jamil. A man. Come on.
When the Son of Man comes in his glory,
See, there's his return. When the Son of Man comes in his glory. Go ahead.
and all the holy angels with him,
Uh-huh.
he will sit on the throne of his glory. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate them one from another.
Stop. All the nations will be gathered before him. And he will separate. So if all the nations are gathered before him, shouldn't we be gathered now? He's going to separate the nations, and that's the Jewish nations as well as the nations in the earth. God does the separating. We got to do the putting together. Come on.
He will separate them one from another, as the shepherd divides his sheep from the goats.
Now watch how he starts to break them down. Sheep and goats. Why? Sheep and goats have different appetites. They're two totally different creatures. Sheep won't eat anything. Goats will eat anything. We got a lot of Christians that are goats. I'm sorry. It's just true. They just do and go and be and eat and anything and everything. And if that's what you practice, you will ultimately perfect it. And don't be talking about my chicken, Morgan. She trying to get on me for some chicken. Come on. Come on, Jamil.
Then he will set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then the king will say to those on his right hand, "Come, you blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me."
That's our ministry. And if you're following along the leadership of the ministry, that's who we are and that's what we do. You can leave here and live like that and still get into heaven, but while you're here, please live like that so that you don't hinder nobody else. We want sheep, not goats. Goats hard to train. I seen them, they can jump. I don't know if y'all ever seen goats jump. If y'all ever seen goats jump, I know you got these beautiful dreams of sheep leaping over stuff. Sheep don't leap as high as goats. Goats can get some height. You can put a big fence around goats. They'll get up on each other's back. How many of y'all ever seen goats do that? Y'all, goats will jump on each other's back and jump over the fence. What does he do with the rest of them, Jamil?
Then the righteous will answer him, saying, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and fed and feed you, or thirsty and give you drink? When did we see you a stranger and take you in, or naked and clothed you?
Watch this.
Or when did we see you sick or in prison and come to you?" And the king will answer and say to them, "Assuredly I say to you, inasmuch as you did it to one of the least of these, my brother, you did it."
Whatever you've done to the least of these, you've done it to me. I was talking to our city councilwoman the other day, Jacoby McDowell, and she says, "Pastor, I'm sick of the church." Imagine, I'm on the phone with her. You know, what you mean you sick of the church? You don't know the church, but you sick of it. Anybody, the Bible says, "Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good." I want to go there, but I got to hear her out. She says, "I have 60 churches in my district, and they do nothing." She says, "So, Pastor, you calling me is nothing." I said, "Well, let me help you out, Ms. Jacobia. You can't lump me in with the rest of them. I just got here. And we've been working undercover for a year and a half, establishing in the hearts of people how to love people. And so we're not that. And so let me help you out. You need me. And you and I need to connect and sit down so we can plan this thing out and see how the chapel in Antioch can be a better service to our community. Because we're not trying to gather a whole bunch of people just so I can be impressive and preach to them the gospel. That's not what we're here to do." And I was talking just like that. And she said, "Oh, well, all right, Pastor." She's so sweet. "I hear you." She went on to tell me how churches in this area are holding up a facade. You know how we've been praying for buildings? Jacobia said, "Pastor, let me look out for you. Let me see what I can do." You know why? Because we got churches all up and down the thing, got 5 and 10 members, and they're holding it together because the building is paid off, but nobody's coming to their church. She said, "Pastor, I just want to take some of them and tell them, why don't y'all get together?" I said, "Jacobia, do you realize pride would not allow people to do that? And let me tell you why I won't do it. Because I'm not going to yoke myself up with no prideful people. It'd be easy for us to go and get with a congregation that's got 13 members. Then we got to decide who's going to preach. Now, it's obviously you done went from 100 to 13. You shouldn't be the preacher. That's obvious, ain't it? But to a preacher, that's not going to be that obvious. You know what's going to be obvious to him? I done came into his world, so he's no longer at 13. He's now at 63 because I bought 50. And he's thinking that his evangelistic tool reached me, and then I just said, let's just go on over here with them. She said, Pastor, there are large churches around here with nobody in them. And they're not selling their buildings. They're just sitting dormant. Michelle and I have been observing one building for the whole time we've been here. I promise you, I haven't seen one. I told Kent to go by there one Sunday. I almost want to say, Kent, go down there and see if there's anybody there. But I haven't seen one car in there in 2 years. And the grass is always cut and the one light is always on. Look, I love. See this. This is why we doing what we're doing, Asa. I love it. See, that's the attitude we need. We believe in the eternity with or without God. Look what he says to the other ones.
Then he will also say to those on the left, depart from me, you cursed, into the everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you did not take me in. Naked, and you did not clothe me. Sick and in prison, and you did not visit me. Then they also will answer him, saying, Lord, when you received hungry, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister to you. Then he will answer them, saying, Surely, as I say to you, inasmuch as you did not do it to one of the least of these, you did not do it to me. And these will go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into eternal life.
We believe that. Yes, Asa. Asa, you know what? You could not have asked a greater question in your life. Are we to help every homeless person we see? Are we to help everybody? Let me help you out. First of all, your heart has to be right for you to really be helping. So you can't do it as a means to get into heaven. I'm just going to do this so I can get into heaven. Let me tell you what Jacobia told me. She says, Pastor, I'm really frustrated with the church because I've had people from the church who claim they're Christians call me and say, when are you going to do something about these homeless people? I'm sick of them. My property value is going down. And she's crying on the phone saying, Pastor, when did they stop being people? So for you to feed them, you must first see them as people. If you don't see them as people, don't feed them because your work is in vain anyway. And so what I'm praying for our congregation, besides just doing the work of feeding the homeless, that you would see them as people and see yourself. What if it was me? Because too many of us drive by people and say, look at them, when you should say, God, it could have been me. People in my family and they're on drugs and you want to just go shake them, but that's not going to help. I want to go grab them and hug them and love them, and they don't know what to do with that. So sometimes I just have to be cordial and I just listen to some of the craziest stuff and wait till they get finished and say, amen, I love you. Ain't nothing you can do about that. So are we too? We are supposed to take care of the earth because that's what the Lord gave us. And if our brother is destitute, we take care of our brother. If our sister is destitute, we take care of our sister. But I'm praying. I want to be around people who have a heart for God's people. I'm giving you a challenge. Say it again, Asa. My girl, God is bringing y'all to a stable place so that you can give from a wealthy place too. Here's my challenge to every one of you all today. You ready? Y'all ready? Here's my challenge. Thank you. No, just keep loving. Just there you go. Just keep loving. The challenge to love. Asa set it up perfectly. The challenge is to love. Tatiana, I'm so glad you said that. Does that make me want to just right here? All right, because you're not no goat, so I can't put you on the left. But it'd be Michelle and Jasmine, and what you're saying, oh, that's not hard. I want Tatiana right there because her perspective is right. It's not going to be hard to love. Exodus 20. Exodus 20 says this, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above or earth beneath, what is under the water of the earth. Thou shalt not bow thyself down, nor serve them. I am the Lord thy God. I am jealous by visiting the iniquity of the father upon the children to the third and fourth generations, and to them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath unto the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt do no work, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in the 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that's in them, and rested on the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. You shall not covet. How many of y'all know what group of texts that is? What are those known as? The 10 Commandments. How many of you all will testify those are the 10 Commandments? Come on, hands up. I want to say, who will agree that those are the 10 Commandments? I want hands up high. You going on camera. All right. Andrea, you don't know? Those are the 10 Commandments. Let me help you out. Come on, I'm looking for hands. Everybody waiting on Andrea. She's scanning. It's not a trick, Andrea. It's the 10 Commandments. Just raise your hand. Come on, don't try to see. Don't go too far. How many of y'all agree? Amen. 10 Commandments? Amen. And give me a loud amen. Amen. All right, good. Exodus 20 is where you find the 10 Commandments. Now, my question to you is, after hearing that, how many of you all think that's where your biblical worldview lies? Thou shalt not. You should not do this. How many of you all would say you see the world through the 10 Commandments? You believe that the 10 Commandments are the most important thing we uphold. How many of y'all believe that? Hands up. Come on. Hands up. Come on. Good, 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 good. Anybody else? Good, good, good. All right, cool. Let me show you what type of, let me show you. Did y'all think it was a trick question? All right, let me see the hands again. Hey, ready to go. This is your worldview. Good. Biblical worldview. Come on. If your hand was up before you are a liar, don't put your hand back down now. Put your hand back up. Come on. Don't be a liar. Don't come. All right, good. Don't defraud me. All right, good, good, good. All right, good. Your biblical worldview is of the law. And I want you to see that. You have a law-based biblical worldview. Now let me show you what Jesus comes along and says. In Matthew 7, look at Jesus. Matthew 7 says it this way. Judge not that ye be not judged. What does that do with your biblical worldview of the law? It just gets rid of it. It wipes it out. Why? Let's go on. I'm going to show you. For with what judgment you judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure you meet, it shall be measured to you again. So, for instance, let's go back to the law. We're going to go back for a second, okay? Ryan asked a beautiful question. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Stand up, Ryan. You're going to walk your life out under the law. Stand right here. I'm going to walk under grace. So tell me, remember the Sabbath. Tell me.
You can't work.
No. Tell me, remember. Just remember the Sabbath.
I remember the Sabbath.
Okay, and do what?
Don't steal.
No. On the Sabbath only.
Don't worry, you can
Keep it holy.
Right, okay. So you get a new job. Your new job says you got to work on Sunday. What you going to do?
I ain't working.
Oh, you ain't going to go to work?
Right, so it's gonna work. No.
We talking about you though. All right, so you're going to tell them you can't work on Sunday.
Yeah.
All right, so you going to cook you something to eat on Sunday? Huh?
I want to.
No. You going to cook? No. Are you going to cook? Yeah. Just go ahead. Come on. All right. So here's the living under the law. you've held me to a standard that you yourself is not going to hold. So what's going to happen is you're going to be judged because you made me do something you weren't willing to do.
Because you're going to farmers.
Yeah. Now you ready? In Israel, I haven't been yet, but I'm going. They tell me that the elevators, you don't even touch it, it's stopping every floor on the Sabbath. Every floor. So you could be in a restaurant, you go downstairs, you go into the store, there's no stores, there's no delicatessen, nothing's open. Because they honor the Sabbath. They do nothing. But they sit in a room and they read the Torah and they honor God from sundown to sun up. From sundown to sundown, I'm sorry. Did I say it right the first time? Sundown, night, right, to sundown. 24/7. They do nothing but worship God. So all you religious people that want to hold us to the 10 commandments of the law, remember, whatever you say I got to do, you got to do it too. And while you're doing it, there are 600 plus more laws you got to go and find out so that you can stay in right standing. Because the Bible says whoever do a part of the law must do the whole law. It got quiet in this public library. So watch this, because I don't want you to think it gives you a right to go and commit adultery and kill. No, don't do it. Don't you do it. You just freeze right there. You ready? And why behold this thou? Because I'm going to show you this. And why behold this thou that is in thy brother's eye, but not considereth not the beam that is in thy own eye? Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in your own eye? So it's all about looking in the Bible and using it as a mirror versus using it as a window. When you look into the Word of God, you should see you before you see me. And Jesus himself is saying, why are you doing this? You're a law person. They wrong. Look at them. They're going to hell. Look at them heathens. No, look at me. Oh, I can stop being mean. Oh, look at me. I can stop cursing. Oh, look at me. Why? Because once you do this, Jesus says something. He calls you a hypocrite. He says, thou hypocrite, first. Everybody say first. Cast out the beam of thine own eye, and then thou shalt see clearly to cast the mote out of thy brother's eye. He's not saying you can't help people, but first get your house in order. The Williams brothers had a song, sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. It only makes sense that you take care of your house before you take care of my house. And watch this. Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under feet and turn again to rend you. Don't give what's holy to dogs. You know, for years we've taken that to mean you don't give money at the casino. But I'm praying God for a deeper revelation, because within the context, he's saying stop beating people up with the holy word. They're going to turn around and whoop you. How many of y'all have tried to use the holy scriptures to bring somebody life? You going to bust hell wide open. And they look at you and they want no parts of you. How many of y'all would say that's an accurate depiction of you helping people? We ain't going to deal with it. We ain't going to deal with it. In verse 12 he says, therefore all things wherever you would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them. So, to answer your question, whatever you would like for somebody to do to you, you do it to them. If that was you on the corner begging, what would you want people to do for you? You got to figure out some kind of way. If that was you in prison, what would you want somebody to do for you? I got godchildren and I'm repenting. I got to get it this week. My godchildren asked me to write a letter because they want new pen pals. They didn't want to be all tech dependent. And my goddaughter said, God, Daddy, would you just write me a letter? It's been months and I haven't written my baby a letter. I'm going to write a letter. Because if I was a child who was hoping to get a letter in the mail, I would want somebody to write me. We used to call it pen pals. I'm going to shock her good. She's going to get a long letter from her goddaddy this week. Goddaddy, send me a letter. I may even throw some money in it. I don't know. For this is the law of the prophets. Verse 12, Jesus says, here is the law. Whatever you, let me say it, whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do it even unto them, for this is the law and the prophets. Verse 13, Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be that go thereat. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. I want you to know, living a life in grace is a narrow road. Living this life of love that I'm asking you, everybody can't go on this journey with you. Everybody will not travel this journey with you because, contrary to what Tatiana said, it's going to be easy. Oh, that's not hard. It's going to be hard for some of y'all to overlook folks' sin and just love them. But aren't you glad Jesus overlooked your mess? And aren't you glad that daily he's overlooking your mess? He's overlooking the intent of your ugly, darkened heart. And he says, my child, my child. Bible says in Romans, it's the goodness of God that lead men to repentance. I want you to know something. When you at your worst, he at his best. Because he's trying to get you to say, Daddy, I'm sorry. But some of y'all took a little blessing like, love me. He loved me. He sure do. But you're supposed to end up at the altar, not at the mall. I'm going slow on purpose. Matthew 22 says this, but when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, I want y'all to see Jesus. Look at Jesus in Matthew 22, verse 34. When the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, Jesus shut it down. Here come these law people, the Sadducees. It ain't come with the law. Well, it is written, it is written, it is written. And Jesus said, hey, kill that. Let me tell you who I am. So here come the next stage of lawgivers, the Pharisees. Here they come. The Pharisees believed in the resurrection. The Sadducees did not. So here comes Jesus. He shut them down. He went back to Isaiah. They left him speechless. So here come the Pharisees. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him, asking, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Look at Jesus. Jesus said to him, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind. Where did he get that from? Exodus 20. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. That's where he got that from. But then he says, the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments, see, we've been living by 10 commandments when Jesus is trying to get you to live by 2. He says, on these 2 commandments hang all the law and the prophets. So take all of that and hang it on love. So now you don't find somebody who can kill somebody and you just back. You're going to hell, you murderer. Yeah, they got time. What are you clowning for? Did you hear how she treat her mother? She going to hell. Why don't you just, out of love, I pray that she wouldn't treat her mother that way. Come here. Did anybody ever teach you how you should treat your mother? You shouldn't treat your mother that way. You know how to diffuse more stuff by just having a loving, caring heart? There were fights that were supposed to jump off and people would have got hurt. And I stepped right in there. People said, don't go over there, down there, don't. I said, hey, man, hey. What are y'all doing? What are y'all fighting over? Everybody standing there, big chest and breathing. I said, you mad? I get it, you mad. All right, calm down. Even at Lighthouse, they can tell you. People want to write kids up and send them to the office. I said, please, let them come by me first. Let me find out what's going on. And they started doing that. Kids started coming to me. I said, do you know what he went through last night? We the church. We just can't suspend him and demerit him and send him home. What's that? That's the law. And we're commanded to love. And I got news for you. Love don't mean you get away with everything either. Because I see all y'all kids perking up. Oh yeah, tell them, Pastor. No. Let me show y'all how my mama loved me. Let me show y'all something so y'all can see this. My mama had this thing, this microphone. Let me show you. Let me show you. I'm gonna show you. It's a certain thing I gotta do. They ain't gonna get it. They don't get it. This is how I knew my mother loved me when I got old enough and all my friends was dead. My mother used to do this thing. She said, shh. And then she said, I'm gonna beat you good. And she was quick with like, shh. See, my kids didn't get it. I'm out of practice. Jasmine, they didn't get the four Monty. They got, come here, Ryan, stay here, sit right here. No, come here. Come here, Ryan, I promise I ain't gonna hit you. This is how, listen, if you don't have this in your memory, you need to, no, face me, Ryan. If you don't have this in your memory, You need this at least one time. Andre, you going to get this because Lavelle going to help me out. You going to get this once. No, sit down, Ryan. Come here, Andre. Come here. Come on, Dre. Every boy need this. Mamas, y'all relax. Every boy need this. Ryan. Turn around, face me, Lavelle. I mean, Lord, I didn't get... Andrew, turn. Drew, relax. You're not going to get a whoop. And relax. Every boy need this. Didn't I tell you? if you ain't never got that, you don't know love. See, my mom used to walk up in there and say, didn't I tell you to go to that school? See this right here? It break you down. You don't know if you're going to hit you in the face. You don't know what's next right here. Jamil can't see it. He need to be reminded. Yeah. And it just sit on your face like she ain't going to hit your face because she ain't going to abuse you. But she talking to you. You listen to me right now. You going to go to this school. Everybody need this. How many of y'all had this before? How many of y'all had this? And you still here. How many of your friends used to quote to your mama, they get to do whatever they want, and their life is jacked up because they get to do whatever they want. This is love. The Bible says that the Lord chastens them that he loves. He corrects those. Don't you let your child steal something and then have a conversation. You stole something? This is the next posture. Okay? Relax. And I'm going to be called mean. I'm going over the internet. I know people don't do this no more. You don't beat your kids in the head. You don't do all. No, just, they got to know though. They got to know that. You all right? You all right? No. You can't cuss. You can't cuss. Don't you steal. Stealing is wrong, son. Not like that, with a little bit more energy, okay? It's just for test purposes. And then you say, I did that because I love you, and I want you to know that stealing is going to cause somebody pain. And since you did it, you should be the one to hurt. And you hug it out, and you let the punishment fit the crime. And I got news for you mothers who say that's abuse. I got news for you people in the internet world that say, oh, look at that pastor teaching people how to whoop children. If I don't, the courts will. If I don't, they got a prison. And there's a guard in there punching them with a closed fist. There are people in there raping and molesting them. This is nothing compared to jail. I would rather whip you with a belt than to have somebody take 25 years of your life because I didn't do this. That's love. Look what the Amplified version says here. I love that dude. The Amplified version says this way. Now when the Pharisees heard that he had silenced or muzzled the Sadducees, they gathered together, One of them, a lawyer, an expert in the law, the Mosaic law, asked Jesus a question to test him. Teacher, which is the greatest commandment of the law? Look what Jesus says. You shall love the Lord God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and the greatest commandment. Next, the second is like, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. What does that mean? That is unselfishly seeking the best or the higher good for others. You should unselfishly seek the best or the higher good for others. That's when you're living out your biblical worldview. So do you give to everybody? Hey, sir, anybody else with that question? Who do we give to? Right there. Unselfishly seek the best or the higher for everybody else. Unselfishly seek the best or higher good for others. Some of you got $50, $2 to somebody homeless ain't gonna kill you. Stop thinking like that. That's a poverty mentality. You can't be trusted. If God can't give you $2 to give to somebody, my goodness. And I get it. You have the ones you discern that are using drugs and you don't want to add to that. At least open down your window and do like they said, Peter said at the gate, silver and gold I have none, but that which I have I give unto you. Don't leave them there with nothing. At least give them Jesus. Pray they be delivered. Can I pray for you? I roll down my window all the time. You want $2? I don't have it, but I got Jesus on the inside of me, and I'm willing to share with you. Do you want me? Can I pray with you? And I hold up traffic, and people blow the horn, and I'm still going on. One of these days, I'm going to get caught up and start praying in tongues. It's going to really mess up. I'm going to get out and just, I'm going to go old school. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I can feel it coming. Andrea, you got a question?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't have many, but I do have some cupcakes. Would you like the cupcakes? She said, I love cupcakes. I would love cupcakes.
See that?
They got me interested. What I did have, I gave to her.
You ready? You ready? But you ready for this? God says in His Word, I've given you all things that pertain to life and godliness. There are times when you don't have what people ask for, but you have the thing they need. Put that in your notes. There are times you don't have what people ask for, but you still have what they need. If God has given you all things that pertain to life and godliness, you will have what you need in that moment. Trust me, I get people call me, ask me for money all the time. And I'm very cautious about giving money to people. Because I know how it can lead to some of these people. My uncle taught me this. He says, I got enough money that the whole family don't have to work. He was a millionaire. My uncle. Honest, true story. And I asked him, because I'm mean. I said, why don't you? He says, because I have a brother who can't go to the casino. He can't get $1. He's going to the casino. That was my dad. He said he had a sister who was drunk. By the time 10 o'clock in the morning, he had another sister who hadn't worked in years. And he went down the whole family line on why he couldn't. And when I looked at him, I said, I understand now. He left my house. He was staying in my house after surgery. And I said, I understand. Thank you for bringing understanding. Why? Because I've been sitting in other family meetings when they called him evil and called him faggot and called him stupid. He called himself a preacher. He won't even help his own people. But he says, why would I give them what's going to kill them? So you know what he did? He went and bought insurance policies for all the girls. And their deaths have cost nobody. Their deaths weren't supposed to cost anybody. Let me say it that way. We still got a couple of them alive. That's what he did. Why? Because God given them all things that pertain to life and godliness. And to you all that are under the law, like the law, we read the first 3 through 17. Let's read 18 in Exodus 20. Turn to Exodus 20. And I'm wrapping up. I know we had a long day ahead of us. Here's why you don't want to live a biblical worldview of the law. You ready? Exodus 20, turn to verse 18. Here's why. Verse 18. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet. This was after the 10 Commandments were given. And the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, somebody read that for me. What did they do? They removed and did what? How many people do that when you talk? And you happy. Oh, I came to the break room. Oh, I'm so anointed they was running. Really? That's good? Oh, I put them on the run like roaches. That's good? The light came on and darkness scattered. Really? Let's go on. Why did they run? And they said to Moses, speak to us, Moses, and we will hear you. But let not God speak with us or we'll die. They had fear. They wanted man more than they wanted God. Said, Moses, we'll listen to you, but God's trying to kill us. This is the same God that brought them out of Egypt. This is the same God that delivered them through the Red Sea. This is the same God that stopped Pharaoh's hand from prospering over their life, and they think he want to kill them. So Moses, we ain't trying to hear all that. We saw the thunder and the lightning. We scared. And that's you. I got them so scared at the job. That's not good. And Moses said to the people, fear not, for God has come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. Then he goes on to verse 21. Let's look at the people. After Moses told them not to fear. God is here to prove you. He's here to show you. He's on your side. He wants to fear. He wants you to know his power. Forever. Just like you. God is powerful. He can deliver you, heathen. And let's look at verse 21. And the people stood afar off. And notice here. And Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where God was. So Moses goes into a deeper depth with God, but the people say they're going away from God. That's the church. Preachers are, oh, I was in the glory last night. And the whole congregation going, oh, we're going to hell. So when Moses comes off the mountain, Moses gets to experience God, but the people move in fear. Look what it says in the Amplified. Now all the people witnessed the thunder and the flash of the lightning and the sound of the trumpet, the smoking mountain, and they looked and the people were afraid and they trembled and moved backwards. So do people move backwards when you preach? When you talk about Jesus, do people, okay, here he come. Here she come. Oh, here he come again. and they stood at a safe distance. People feel safer being away from you than being around you. The law ain't it. Watch this, next slide. I go to Matthew 7. And it came to pass when Jesus had ended these sayings. This is Jesus. And it came to pass when Jesus had ended these. This is Matthew 7. This is what we just said. He said, judge not lest you be judged. He just did all that. Look what happens in verse 28. And it came to pass when Jesus had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine, for he taught them as one having authority and not as the scribes, not as the lawyers, not as the lawgivers. Jesus taught the way I'm teaching you, with love and compassion. And look what happens in chapter 8, verse 1. When he was come down from the mountain, great multitudes followed him. Totally different. When Moses comes off the mountain, the people scatter. When Jesus comes off the mountain, the people say, hey, we going with you. You want to know why our church is growing? We love Jesus and we love people. And if you will love Jesus and love people, people will follow you wherever you go. Why? Because the church has to get out of this law-based mentality and get into this love-based mentality. Because why? God is love. So just know, you that are trying to hold on to those Baptist roots, you grew up in those old traditional roots, everybody gonna go to hell that ain't like you. Let me help you out. You're gonna be shocked if you make it. There's gonna be some dope things in earth. They're gonna be glorious in heaven. Because with their dying breath, they said, Father, forgive me. This day. Here you are. I know he didn't make it in. You don't know nothing. I've been by the bedside of people who have committed suicide, and I cannot tell you when they took their last breath because the machines were involved. I saw a young lady's brains coming out of a tube down through this thing, and they said she's gone. But she still had activity on the heart thing, and she still had brain activity, and she hung herself. But her brain was leaking out of this thing that was supposed to be helping with the swelling. It's supposed to be draining swelling and brain matter literally begin to come through that tube. And they said, oh, she's gone. I said, no, she ain't. You can't say that. You don't know. She ain't gone until she's gone. And that heart starts going, you looking at one thing, but it's something else. You looking at her head, but you don't know her heart is still gone. Just like the church, we looking at folks' head and not realizing God judges the heart. Does that give you the right to sin? Not at all. Don't go be not entangled again to the yoke of bondage of this world. Don't go back to doing sin. Now that you're in righteousness, go all in. Go overboard. Love on everybody. Love on them ugly family members of yours. Love on everybody. The pretty ones too. Because them pretty people, they're hard to love sometimes. It's like, you look at pretty people sometimes like, you don't need no more love. You got enough. No, they need some love too. They need to be humble. You ain't all that. Come here. It's your big head son. Just call them big ears or something. Just find something. My ears ain't big. You should have seen me on Instagram. Look at Peter. Peter says this in 1 Peter 4. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. Look what Peter says in verse 8. And above all things. Everybody saying above all things. Have fervent charity, which is agape love, among yourselves. For charity covers what? The multitude of sins. How do we know? What do we do with our love? Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man have received the gift, even so minister the same one to another as good stewards of the manifold grace of God. You receive grace, would you please give some out, heathen? You a heathen too. You may be an ex-heathen, but nonetheless, that's in your background too. You got to put yourself in their shoes. You know how I'm able to walk up to people and say, I love you? Y'all want to know the secret of that? You want to know the secret of that? Because Jesus loved me. He did not have to invade my life and reveal himself to me, but he did. Therefore, I'm going to walk in his life and reveal him to everybody I meet. I can't be around them. They smell like weed. What is that? You used to be the number one chiefer. I was going over there, Andrew. I'm over here, just over here. You used to be the number one chiefer. Now all of a sudden you used to have a cloud of smoke around you. Just let your window down. It's just like a fog machine in your car. Now I'm saying, oh, that smoke. I just can't take that smoke. Really? Oh, that line I can't do. Ooh, you know I can't do no line. Your tongue used to have motor oil on it. Just dripping. Just lies. Everything you used to say before Jesus was alive. Look at her. Gonna wear that dress. Let's go through your closet. Let's see what you had. With your nasty self. Let's go. Oh, God. Let's go through your channel. Let's see your YouTube history. Let's see what your privacy set and set to, so people can't see what you're watching. Yeah. Let's see what you clicked on lately. I had to tell people. People used to get my computer back in church. I said, I click on everything because I use everything. The Bible says teach the people the difference between the holy and the profane. I used to show them porno pictures in church. You don't believe it? I did it. Your kid got a lust issue? Send them on over to Pastor D. I can help break that lust. Y'all laughing. Y'all look at me like I can help you with lust. Here's what happened. Take a boy who got a pornography issue. He's been looking at images all his life. I said, well, what you been looking at, son? He showed me what he been looking at. I said, oh, you been looking at that? Cool. Let me give me a little while with this. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and find some pictures of the after effects of somebody living in that lifestyle. And so I'm gonna find the closest picture. Cause see, I'm not moved by all that. That's a picture. I got the real thing, baby. I don't need no picture. I don't need no computer screen or monitor, none of that. Huh? So for me, I'm not into that, but I want to help somebody get out of it. I may have to go in there and get them and pull them to where I'm at. And so what I do is I find somebody with, I get the little image. I've done this in the past. I get the little image and I find one real close to somebody who may have, let's just say it, venereal disease. And so this group looks healthy and plush and pink, and this group over here got herpes. And then I just blend them together. Do you know what that does to the mind? The mind starts to see the after effects of that lifestyle because the mind can't turn itself off. The brain has to see this image. And so now the two become one. Ooh, turn it. I said, no, touch it. Y'all laughing. Touch it right here, touch it. Put your hands on it because that's how you've been picturing yourself. Now, oh, listen, I got a kid right now today. He'll tell you he don't eat broccoli or cauliflower to this day. He'll tell you right now. He almost 30 years old. If he's not 30, he's like, man. He sends me pictures every now and then. This is what they serve at my job dinner banquet. But I showed it. I showed pictures of HPV. I've shown when we get our youth ministry established, we're gonna do some real hardcore stuff in youth ministry. I've shown live abortions in church. I know 10 kids that are alive today because I did that. One of them, just a year and a half ago, he was here in town with his grandmother. He was here. I met him as a young man for the first time. Now, I knew him when he was a little boy. He didn't remember me. He was a little baby. Now, he ain't seen him in years. We went to go hang out with his grandmother. When I walked into the house, he just stared at me. He just stared at me. He walked me to the back. We sat down, him and I talked. Michelle was like, and his grandma said, all right, let's go to church. We was going to church in 2 different vehicles. He said, I want to ride with him. When his mother and father were considering abortion, I told him, y'all got 15 minutes to call both of your parents, and if you don't, I'm going to call them. Don't do that. Why don't you mind your business? You know why I'm that hard? You know why I go after our young people that hard? Planned Parenthood had already set up a transportation. They was going to come up to the college and pick her up, take her to get the abortion and then bring her back. Set her up with a nurse and everything. Free of charge. They are married today with, I think they got 3 kids. They married today and doing well. God has blessed them both. But that little fella don't even know. And I don't say, boy, if it wasn't for me. No, if it had not been for this. I love those young people enough to tell them, don't kill your child. You'll never get rid of that birthday in your mind. You'll always have questions. And he is an amazing, smart, brilliant, handsome young man. He says, if any man speak, let him speak the oracles of God. And any man minister, let him do as it has the ability which God given him. Don't do what ain't in your wheelhouse to do. Ryan cut hair, not Jamil. Don't let Jamil cut your hair. That's not his grace. You're going to look like you just got out of the army. Don't let Mother Aida volunteer to take you 2 states over at night. That's not going to work out well for you. No. Mother says, Mother got all the love in the world. Oh, you got to go to Kentucky? I'm tired, but I'll take you. Do not get in that car. You putting her in danger and trust me, you in danger. Because the first thing she told me was, Pastor, I don't drive well at night. And you know what I do? When she leave here at night, Nancy, typically I follow her home. If I don't, I say to y'all, one of y'all, follow mother home. Ain't no wheelhouse to drive late at night. You got to learn that about people. When I walk up to a homeless guy and say, man, here's $1,000, I probably wouldn't. But I will ask him, man, if I gave you $1,000, what would you do with it? Not me and him talking. Now here's mine. And some of them will give you some crazy, I dare y'all, just, if I gave you $1,000, what would you do with it? You wait till you hear some of these answers. It's going to blow you away. But they'll never forget you. I had a girl I prophesied to on a bridge. It was at, why can't I think of the name of the street? Wilson Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. I drove up in my car. We was coming off the highway. I rolled down my window. I said, listen, where you from? You're not from here. We was in Chicago. I said, you're not from here. I know people from around here. You don't fit. She said, I'm from Tennessee. I said, you need to go back home quick. I said, go home. She starts crying. I said, this city is going to eat you alive. Over 5 years, every time I went to visit my mom, that girl would see my car and she would turn away. And I would just slow down. I say, hey, how you doing? She said, hi. She went from being a healthy looking young lady to being a meth addict. And it just sucked the life out of her. Jaws were touching, her teeth were falling out. Her skin was just dry and she had sunburn. And our hearts went out. There was nothing we could do. But I gave her the word of the Lord. Go home. I gave her what the Lord told me to give her. And I gave her $5. And every now and then, no, I'm serious. Y'all laughing. The $5 to a meth addict, I contributed to that. But every time the Lord spoke to me to give her, I did. Was it easy? No. Because I'm thinking, I'm killing this girl with this 5. So we love you. We're praying for you. I forget her name. I think it was Melody. We're praying for you. Because that's what I'm raised to do. We'll wrap this message up next week. It's so much more to this message. But I'm ending with this one. Here's your challenge. For the next 6 months, Pastor D is going to challenge you to be, not to be Moses, but to be Jesus. And not to be a Pharisee, but to be a disciple. I'm not asking you to share some greasy grace and some greasy love where everybody just get to do whatever they want to be, whatever they want. I want you to learn how to minister love. If you know how to minister the love of God, children will be happy to see you coming. And if children are happy to see you, typically adults are happy. Them boys, Nate, James, and Marcus, those 3 young men that go to Lighthouse, they can't wait to see me come. Because they know it's going to be something. So look at Marcus. I'm just coming over here. Look at them. They can't wait. When I come around, they know I'm the one adult that may slap them, punch them. I got this thing I do with Marcus. Marcus is the biggest one. He hates when I do this. Watch this. I just tickle him. He hates getting tickled. Because I figured it out. As big as Marcus is, he can't take it for somebody to tickle him. It's my boy though. I love them guys. See what I'm saying? Have y'all ever seen Douglas walk up to me and give me my hug? That's my boy. That's Dougie. I told Suzanne and Kent, I said, you know why I love Douglas? I said, Douglas is Donnell Colbert. That boy's just like me. That's me. Mischievous, curious about everything, smart as a whip, say the craziest thing out of my mouth. That was me. When my mother met Douglas, she looked at him. She spent a little time with him. She said, oh, Lord, Donnell, he's just like you. Come here, boy. And Douglas was right there with my mom, just like I would be with my mom. Why? Because I'm not Moses. And I'm not trying to put people on the run. I'm Jesus. I'm trying to get somebody to follow.